Hello and welcome to an AB Secure tutorial video. This is for Hikvision camera systems with the latest firmware, and we're going to show you how to play back some events that have happened today. We're going to show you how to get a list of all the events that have happened, which is a lot easier than going through the regular playback timeline view where it's basically like just dragging through the entire day. The list view is a lot easier to browse, but it can miss certain things, which is why we always set these systems up to record 24/7. So we're going to start from this view here. This is what you get usually when you have a camera system installed. You'll get a multi-way view of several cameras in your system. We usually try and get the maximum amount of cameras on your screen. We're showing 4 cameras here. I know there's 9 cameras on this system, but it could be any amount of cameras on the screen. You could even have just the one. You can always make one bigger, for example. But we're going to right click the mouse. So you can see the little cursor there moving around. We're going to right click and you will probably be prompted for a pattern. So you can either drag out your pattern, or if you don't know what your pattern is but you know your admin password, right click the mouse again and you will be asked to type in your password. I know the pattern, so I'm going to type that in. Once you've typed in your pattern, you'll be presented with a view like this. Now, your system may look a bit different. It might not say NVR 4.0 in the top. It might say something totally different. It might say HVR. It might just say NVR. But this is the sort of view most Hikvision camera systems will have. So from here, we want to switch to the File Management tab. This is up here at the top. It is the third icon along here. It's a little file like folder thing. Click on that and you'll be taken to this page here. So this page is, I will admit, not the friendliest. It is a bit confusing at times, but we're going to try and break it down in a simple, easy to follow way. So on the left hand side, you've got a few options: video, picture and smart search. So for most people, you want to have video selected because we're looking for video files here. If you have an ANPR camera or something like that, you might want to use the picture search because the picture search will show you any snapshots that have been taken. Under smart search, you have some more drilled down events. You've got face search, human body detection and vehicle search. So the vehicle search is even better for them ANPR cameras. Now, I think human body and vehicle search require either an ANPR camera or an AccuSense camera. So not many systems will have these, but we do offer AccuSense cameras. But we're going to assume on this video that you have a regular camera system. So we're not interested in this smart search feature. We just want video. Now under the video tab, there's 3 more tabs. We have search by appearance, search by event and search by tag. Search by appearance is not the most useful, so we're going to go search by event. This is what we want. We want to play back previous events where the camera has detected something, be it a person or some motion outside. This is going to break it down so that you can see a list of everything that has happened on that camera in whatever time period you want. And that's the first thing you got to set here. It's under time here. You can either set the start and end date you want to search, or under this first drop down you can simply pick today, yesterday, last 2, 3 or even 7 days as a nice easy quick search. So we're going to search today. Now the next drop down is the camera drop down. By default this says all camera. We want to change it because searching all cameras at once is a lot harder to browse. It's not very intuitive. So we're going to click on this little drop down arrow on the right hand side there and you get a list of all your cameras. So this is a 16 camera system, so you see there's quite a bit in there. But what we're going to do is we're going to uncheck the all camera at the top. Just click the little checkbox next to it, and as you can see the little check marks have gone from all of them. We're only interested in the front door camera, so we want to check that box, and if you then click outside of that you'll see it disappear and it should say the name of the camera and the number of it. In this case, this is camera D3, which is our front door camera. Now under event type, you can have a few options in here, and this is also dependent on the specific cameras you have. Pretty much all cameras will do motion detection out of the box. Motion detection is not very accurate, it's the best way to describe it. It's often triggered by rain and other things. So motion isn't the best thing to use, but it's always there, you can always use it. We sometimes disable it if it's doing a lot of false positives and it's not really being helpful, but it's there if you need it. We've also got line crossing and intrusion. So line crossing, if it's set up, we don't always set up line crossing, but we sometimes do. That's when an object goes over a line that we have set up. I don't use line crossing on this camera system because there's no real need to. But we do heavily use intrusion detection. Intrusion detection is like motion detection, but it's a bit smarter. It makes sure that it has to be a certain size object and it has to enter into a certain boundary and stay there for a little bit of time, maybe a second, 2 seconds, before it detects it, which means it cuts out a lot of rain and other stuff that might be picked up by the regular motion detection. Other cameras might have other features here. You might have vehicle detection for the ANPR and AccuSense cameras, but we're only going to be interested in intrusion or motion for the 99% of searches. For this camera, we're just going to say it's all. We want to see all the events regardless of what has triggered them. So once you've set up these 3 things, you just need to go to the bottom right and hit Start Search. And you'll get a view like this. So you can see a list of all the events. You can just hit play on any of these events. So let's hit play on this bottom event here. You can see, there we go. You can see the time it started, the time it ended, etc. But this view is not easy to look at because you can't see at a glance what's happened, what's triggered it. So we want to change it so you get little pictures for each event. So if you take your mouse and go up to the top right here, next to export, there is these 2 buttons. Now by default, the right option here will be detected. This is list view. Now the button next to it here, it will say figure when you hover over it. It's 4 squares. If you click that, you get a little picture for each event that's happened. So 18 events have happened on this camera today, so we can easily see, here's that event that we saw earlier, and you can actually see in the little picture here who's triggered it. So here I am again at 9:46. At the bottom here you have page controls, so you have from left to right you've got the first page button, so we're already on the first page, so it's greyed out. Got the back page button, again we're already on the first page, so we can't go back. We have the next page button, as you can see, going next when this is the last page here. So the previous and first page buttons are now available, and you also have last page. So this is really handy if you have 300 events that have been detected because it's detected a lot of rain or something, or a spider web at night. You can easily go to the last page because you know you've seen something in the last hour. You can easily hit last page and you see the last events that have happened just like that. So let's say you want to do this same search on a different camera now. If you take your mouse and go to the top, you will see this blue arrow pointing down. If you click on that little arrow, you go back to this event search. So we can click on this camera here. Let's say we want to do the same search on the car park camera here. So we're going to check the car park camera, and then we're going to uncheck the front door camera there, like so. If we do start search, we can see we've seen 97 events, and that's purely because, as you can see, there's a spider's web over the front of that camera and a bit of rain. That's triggered the basic motion detection on this camera. So we're going to go to the last page here with the last page button, and you can see a bunch of events is detected, some vehicles going by there. But we can see in this picture here, there's a clearly someone walking by, so if we click that, there you go. So of course these events can all be exported if you want to. All you have to do to export these events is click the export button. It's as simple as that. Now when you export, you have to select the file, which is very confusing when you're in this view. So we know this event here at 1410 is the event we want. So to select that event, you have to click the event but not the play button in the middle. So as you can see, you can do that on all of these and you can uncheck them the same way. If you want to play, you have to click the play button. If you want to select, you have to click around the play button, like so. So we've selected this event here, and we're then going to hit export. We want the video and log, and it's then going to give us our export settings like we would normally use. This is where you'd plug in your flash drive, you'd select the flash drive, and then you'd hit OK to export it to the flash drive, and then you can play it on your computer. If you do want to export footage and play it on the computer, we do recommend you download a piece of software from Hikvision called VS Player. It plays the video files a lot better than any other software you might have on your computer, but if you're having problems playing back the footage, on this export page here, change it from default to AVI. The AVI files will play on pretty much every computer without any special software, but they are slightly lower quality. The MP4 files are basically original quality, but they don't play on every computer without conversion software or the Hikvision software. Once you've finished doing all your searches, all you have to do is simply go up to the top and click live view. You'll be taken to your camera slit like you did before. Press the right click button again and it will take you back to how you started, like nothing had ever happened. Now, when you're searching for events, you may find that there is a lot of false positives depending on your camera system. Now this can be adjusted, the events are configurable, and we'll have another video on how to configure the events so that you can set it up to your specific requirements. It's not super easy to configure them, and we recommend that you contact your installer to get the events set up perfectly, because they know these systems inside and out and they can configure it so that it's just right. But that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next tutorial.